Chapter 3. The Serpent's Bite. The days that followed the family meeting were filled with uncertainty. Although Jason had accepted the ancestral cloth, his heart remained in the classroom. Every morning he would put on his school uniform with a heavy heart, knowing that once classes ended he had to work on the family farm. Lydia watched her son closely. She saw the sadness in his eyes and the exhaustion on his face. The boy who once laughed freely had become unusually quiet. One evening, after Jason had fallen asleep, Lydia sat alone on the veranda staring into the darkness. Taiwo's words echoed in her mind. "Promise me one thing, Lydia. No matter what happens to me, make sure Jason finishes his education. Don't let him spend his entire life on this farm." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I gave you my word, Taiwo," she whispered, "and I will keep it." The next morning, Lydia visited Iya Agba. "Mother," she said respectfully, "I have come to remind you of our agreement." The old woman looked up from the firewood she was arranging. "What agreement?" "You promised that Jason would only help on the farm for a short time. After that, I would take over so he could return to school." For a moment, Iya Agba remained silent. Finally, she nodded. "I remember." She forced a smile, but deep inside, anger burned within her. "If Lydia takes control of the farm," she thought, "my plans will be ruined." A week later, Lydia began learning every part of the vast farmland. She walked through the cocoa plantations, inspected the yam ridges, and counted the palm trees. She carefully noted the boundaries of every piece of land Taiwo had inherited. The workers admired her determination. "Madam Lydia is brave," one of them said. "She is doing everything for her son," another replied. Unknown to them, someone was watching from a distance Iya Agba. Her face was expressionless as she watched Lydia take charge of the land. "She must never succeed," she muttered under her breath. A few days later, Iya Agba suggested they inspect one of the oldest sections of the farm. "There are parts your husband never showed you," she said. Lydia agreed without suspicion. The journey began early in the morning. Jason remained at home, preparing for school while Lydia and Iya Agba headed deep into the farmland. The farther they walked, the quieter the surroundings became. Even the birds had stopped singing. Lydia suddenly paused. "Mother, why is this place so silent?" Iya Agba smiled faintly. "Not every place welcomes visitors." And before Lydia could ask another question, she heard a sharp hiss behind her. She turned quickly. A massive black snake shot out from the thick grass. Before she could escape, it struck her ankle. "Ah!" Lydia screamed. She fell to the ground as the snake disappeared into the bushes. The farm workers dropped their tools and ran toward her. "Help! Someone has been bitten!" They carried Lydia toward the village as quickly as they could. Her breathing became weaker with every passing minute. I can't feel my legs," she whispered. "Please, save my son." Those were the last words she managed to say. By the time they reached the village, Lydia had taken her final breath. News of her death spread across Evil City like wildfire. Jason refused to believe it. "My mother can't be dead," he cried as he pushed through the crowd. When he saw her lifeless body lying on the mat, his knees gave way. "No," he shouted, "this isn't true." He held her tightly, weeping uncontrollably. Within a few short years, Jason had lost both parents. The funeral was filled with sorrow. Many villagers pitied the young boy who had become an orphan before reaching adulthood. After Lydia's burial, Jason stopped attending school. His books gathered dust, his dreams slowly faded. Whenever his classmates visited to encourage him, he barely spoke. "I don't think I'll ever return," he said quietly. "There is nothing left for me, Riz." Later, Iya Agba called Jason to her room. "My son," she said gently, "education will not feed you now." Jason lowered his head. "Your forefathers were great farmers. Their blood flows through your veins. Stop chasing dreams that have already died. Accept your destiny." Broken by grief and believing he had no other choice, Jason nodded. "I will do as you say, Grandma." A faint smile appeared on Iya Agba's face. She had won another battle. From that day forward, Jason devoted himself entirely to the ancestral farm. Morning after morning, he wore the inherited cloth, carried the old hoe and rusty cutlass, and worked until sunset. Yet no matter how hard he labored, the harvest was never enough. The land seemed to consume all his efforts, leaving him with little to show for his sweat. The curse of the inherited cloth had begun to tighten its grip, and Jason had no idea that someone from his past was about to return and change the course of his life forever. To be continued.